as it when the rich start feeling it, then you know something's going on, and the rich have started to cut back. Case in point, let me bring this up. Hold on. Give me a second. All right, the rich have started cutting back. And when they get the sniffles, we get a cold. So here we go. The luxury goods sector, okay, is starting to feel the heat. We've got these big time luxury brands. People are drinking far less champagne and eating far less caviar. My father used to live in Maine, okay? And when he was in Maine, he would tell me all about the lobster coming out of the woodwork. He was eating lobster every day. Great. And I always joke with him now because now he lives in Maryland. And he gave me this tuna fish recipe that he likes with soy sauce and some other stuff. And I pointed out to him, I say, hey, in the economy of 2016 to 2020, you were eating lobster. And now you're eating tuna fish. So that's how it goes, right? So we've got, let's see here. All right, for years now, luxury goods have thrived. It's not surprising. There's been relative peace, seeming prosperity, We're going to get to that because I want to talk to you about the end of the American dream. And it died a long time ago, all right? And I want to get your thoughts and to give you some ideas on how to recast that American dream, not based on consumerism. Okay, we're talking about luxury goods right now, not based on consumerism. We have been tricked by and large to look at the affectations, the accoutrements of wealth, and not focus on the construction of real wealth for ourselves and our family. You see it in the lavish and widely advertised events at the Met Gala or the World Economic Forum in Davos. The well-to-do have been living it up with very conspicuous consumption. And their conspicuous consumption is then broadcast to the middle class and working poor and gets a lot of people in those groups under the impression that, hey, I know you're only making $50,000, but what you should do is go out and buy a $2,000 pocketbook. Never mind the fact that you don't have much money to put in it or any money to put in it. Just go do it. You'll look rich. Americans have been inculcated in this idea that we need to look rich instead of actually being wealthy, okay? The declining economic fortunes that we're seeing in the country come for everyone in the end, even those who imagine themselves insulated. This week, we've seen the luxury brand stocks take a heavy hit. Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy posted sales below analyst expectations for the third quarter. The owner of Louis Vuitton and Dior brands has struggled to lure big spending Chinese consumers back as Chinese tourism has been slow to pick up. So this is global, guys, okay? And one thing America is very good at importing is culture, okay? We are very, very adept at, getting other countries to adopt our culture, and it's not always a good thing, okay? Buick, for example, was it Buick or Oldsmobile? I believe it was Oldsmobile, one or the other. They were really big in China up until recently. The reason being was because Chairman Mao was chauffeured around in, it was either a Buick or an Oldsmobile. I think it was a Buick, but you get the point, okay? So that, okay, successful guy. This is what the Chinese are thinking in their minds during those times. So that brand transferred from him to the masses. This is what Edward Bernays did in terms of being able to associate psychology with consumerism. Dixie cup, for example. Look, I grew up in a household that had two cups in the bathroom. One was for the adults and one was for the kids. And when you brush your teeth, you drink from the kids' cup, rinse your mouth out, and go. And I know you're not supposed to rinse your mouth out once you brush your teeth. But if you don't do that and then you go downstairs and try to eat breakfast, it just doesn't work out. So in any event, Dixie came onto the scene after some consultation with Edward Bernays and his people, they say, look, let's associate this with, because Dixie at first was for small servings of ice cream, and it really wasn't working, okay? That really wasn't selling Dixie cups. Then they said, look, let's associate this with cleanliness and sanitation. Each and every person gets an individual cup. They rinse their mouth out after they finish brushing their teeth. They throw it away and they keep it moving. Now, the thing is, you got to keep on buying Dixie cups. Those 2 plastic cups that we had in my house growing up, my multi-generational home growing up, those were there from the time I learned to brush my teeth until the time shortly before I left home, okay, as a young adult. And yes, it was sanitary. We washed the daggone cups out. But Edward Bernays and consumerism said, no, you need cups that are disposable because you need to buy those again. Same thing we see with weapons of war. Okay, you launch a missile, you need another one. Northrop Grumman prospers. Congress people invested in these stocks prosper. The broom, okay? Certain people love this thing called a Swiffer. Now, again, I grew up in a house with a broom, a straw broom. And I swear to you, I think in my formative years, we must have purchased maybe 4 brooms, maybe 5, okay? They worked forever. You didn't need to buy another one. But we're in this disposable society where you're supposed to keep spending money, keep spending money. So the luxury goods brands are taking it on the chin because they're forced to wake up, okay? If you just don't have it, you don't have it, all right? So what do we do, guys? What do we do? Well, look, the government is not going to stop spending. They're not going to do that. We need to stop spending. So on various videos that we've done over the past couple of weeks, we've encouraged people to be very judicious about spending. Sit down, go over the expenses, eliminate unnecessary expenses. Okay, that's where we are today. All right. Also, and you guys will probably say, wow, he's really on this car thing. Yes, I am. Cars are extremely expensive these days. It's outrageous. And I'm sure everyone here has heard someone say, oh yeah, it's going to cost $1,700 to fix that car. You might as well buy a new one. I've never understood what sense that makes. Okay, so I could spend $1,700 and get the car fixed. Or I could go out and spend $50,000 on another car. Yeah, okay. I've never understood where that has made sense.